Hey, Angela Carter here with www.earnmoneywithangela.com, and I wanted to do this video to share with you how you can actually get results and make money online even if you have a very small budget. I'm going to share with you some surprising, some surprising tips that you probably haven't heard anywhere else. From a lot of people, marketing online. And so I want to share with you, really, this is going to be a two-part series. So this is part one. I didn't want to keep it long, but I really want to give you lots of content, lots of value, because there's a lot that I want to share with you. Because there's a lot of things that I wish I would have known that people would have told me when I got started online. So I want to share that with you in this video. So the first tip, and this is going to be the first part one of this series of how to make money online even on a low budget, is to get personal, ask tough questions. And what I mean by that is you want to assess your current situation. Here's my story. You know, when I got started online, I always say I was like a broke, I was literally a broke, unemployed law school graduate with $200,000 student loan debt. I was a licensed attorney and had close to $200,000 student loan debt. That's not including interest, right? Yeah, a lot. And so I had when you talk about low budget, I had a very low budget because I did not have a job. So I made a lot of mistakes, and the biggest tip that I can give you, because there's a lot of people who, what prompted this video, let me just say this, what prompted this video is that I get a lot of people who say, I don't have the money to invest in the training that they need to start making more money in their business, right? And a lot of people, a lot of gurus, a lot of internet marketers, a lot of leaders in this industry, when they hear people say that, sometimes I see a little nasty attitude with those people. They're like, oh, you're not serious. Hey, just cut back on those Starbucks. Just stop buying Starbucks. And I remember for me what it felt like, because I'm like, dude, ma'am, I'm not even spending money on Starbucks. I don't even have the money to spend on Starbucks. I am not a Starbucks spender, right? I don't have the money, and I don't want to spend money on that. So to assume that you know my situation when you haven't even asked, ugh. And I've seen a lot of people, even on Facebook, a lot of leaders, right? I use the air quotes, right? A lot of leaders who will put these people, I guess we call it on blast, even on Facebook, who will say, oh, look at this loser. They're not willing to invest. Next, they're not qualified to work with me, right? So they belittle people who are in that situation, and it just disgusts me. And so that's the reason why I'm doing this video, because I remember what it was like to be in that situation. And and so that's why I'm doing this video. So what did I do, right? So I went from being in a situation where I wanted to be able to work from home. I wanted to be able to build an online business, even on a low budget, because I knew the potential. I knew the possibility. I knew that I was hungry. I knew that I was ambitious. I knew that I was determined. I just needed to be able to work with what I have to build and grow from there. But nobody was willing to. I didn't feel like nobody was willing to share, because again, you had these leaders who were very, I don't know, very nasty about, I guess, and making it seem like, you know, people that were in my situation weren't as committed. I don't know if you feel that way a lot of times. So long story short, I ended up taking the money that I did have, and I invested it in a $25 training course, which is the one that I recommend now. You'll see it on the website, earnmoneywithangela.com. And I ended up investing in that, and then I remember getting access to another training product there inside of that system, and it was like $100 a month. And I'm thinking, I had the 100, but I didn't know if I would have the 100 the next month. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should, because I don't know if I'm going to, okay, let me, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to pay for the next month. So I actually wasn't going to buy the training, because again, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a job, right? So here's what happened. I ended up making that investment, but I learned how to now get a return on my investment. I'm actually going to share that in part 2. But in this video, I'm going to share with you one of the ways that you can start making money online, even on a low budget, is you have to get real. You got to get personal. You have to ask yourself the tough questions. Assess your current situation. So you have to ask yourself, how did I get here? How did I get in this situation where I don't have the money to invest in this opportunity or in this training product that I really want? How did I get in this situation? Why am I here? Why don't I have the money? You gotta get real. Again, a lot of marketers online won't challenge you in that way, because they're so busy trying to get your money, right? or talking about you, right, on Facebook, because they say they can't stand you. But again, I want to challenge you, because this is what I wish I would have asked myself, and I eventually did. And I said, you know what? I got into the debt situation, because it's the only debt I have is student loan debt, because I invested in training, but hadn't gotten the skill in being able to now get a return on my investment from that training, even if I didn't get a job. So I lacked the skill set of being able to invest in training and now make that training give me a return on my investment. So I said, oh, I got to learn the skill of doing that. So it'll help you, asking yourself that question, how did I get here, will help you get to the root of the problem. Because here's the deal, people can show you how to make money online, but if you're in the position that you're in now because you haven't been properly managing your money, guess what? When you start making more money, that's just more money for you to not properly manage, and you'll be back in the same situation that you started in. So I don't want that to happen. So we have to get to the root cause of it. So what I see typically is a lot of the reason why people don't is not because they're like lavishly spending their money on Starbucks. These are not people that I'm talking to. This is not really the audience of this video. It's the people that are like, look, all I got is like probably $50 to get started. All I got is probably $100. Can I get started with that? Can I just get started with that? Like people that are in that situation, they're not like, clearly if they had like $5 or I don't even know how much Starbucks coffee is, but whatever it is, if they have that, they could save that for a month and get started. It's not those people, right? But it's the people who they made some bad decisions along the way, maybe, right? Maybe it's you. Maybe you've made some, or you just need to learn how to properly manage the little bit of money that you do have, so you can now have the money to invest. So here's how you do it. What I see a lot of times is that it's not that people don't have money, it's that that money is being spent on other things. And the reason why they got to the position where they don't have the money for a business opportunity or for a training is because they haven't allocated the money for it, because it's going somewhere else. You say, well, Angela, yeah, it's going somewhere else because I don't have the money. I want to challenge you again, right? Not the Starbucks challenge, but this challenge. I want to actually give you the tools of how to properly budget your money so that now you can have it. And it's not a, hey, let's cut out Starbucks, but it's how do you know what percentage of your income should go to rent, should go towards business investments, things like that. So here's what I learned. I learned this from Jim Rohn. If you know Jim Rohn, he's one of the best leading, philosophers of our day, one of the best personal development, motivational speakers that we've ever experienced, right? Jim Rohn. And he said he has this 70-30 rule where he says, look, 70% of what you make from, let's say, your job, 70% of that should go towards, your expenses, your personal expenses. But the 30% needs to be budgeted towards other things. And I'm going to share with you what it is. So that way you can see, okay, why is it? I'm not going to assume that you're lavishly spending money on Starbucks. I am assuming that you're probably spending it on bills, right? Keeping a house over your head of food. So let's take a look at that, right? Okay, so Jim Rohn says 10% should go towards tithing, right? I don't know your personal spiritual beliefs, but I do tithe, right? Now that I am making money, right, in my business, and even when I was struggling, I would take, even if it was like there were times when I was so like broke that it was just only $1 that I could tithe, but I still did it, right? So he said take 10% and tithe it. Take another 10%, and that's for investing in business opportunities, right? The other 10% is now in passive income. So this is like your stocks, things that can passively generate income that you don't have to now physically trade your time for. You want to allot 10%. Now you may be saying, oh, Angela, I don't have the money for that. This is where I'm going to get to. I'm going to show why you probably don't. So that's the 30%. Now the 70%, let's look at that. This is where most people get hung up. This is what they did not know, like I didn't know. No one taught me this in school, right? My parents didn't teach me this. But here's what was happening for me, because here's what I looked at. By the time I needed an opportunity, I was unemployed and I didn't have a lot of money. But I looked at, wait a second, when I did have a job, there were times when I did have a lot of money, maybe tax return season, or when I got gifts for birthdays, or when I did have a job, I didn't properly manage that money, and that's where I went wrong. That's what led me to where I was at that time. So for you, here's what happened for me. I realized for that 70% of my personal expenses, here's what I learned. 30% of the money you make, like your paycheck, right? 30% should go towards housing or your rent. 30%, no more than 30. At that time when I was working, when I did have a job, when I did have more money, a lot of my personal income was going towards my rent, because Austin apartments were high, and I heard that it's even higher now. I no longer live there, but I heard that it was a lot, right? Now, and it was a lot then. I was paying like close to $900 for it was like a 2-bedroom, but it was like a 1-bedroom den apartment. So a big majority of my income, even as a licensed attorney, was going towards rent. And I wasn't budgeting for a business because I didn't think I wanted to be in one. I didn't even know about being able to leverage my time through a business opportunity, through investments. I didn't know any of that, so my money wasn't going to that. But I wasn't lavishly living it up and splurging on overpriced coffee at Starbucks, right? I was just, most of it was going towards living expenses. Most of it was going towards food and things like that. So here's my advice to you. You need to look, are you spending more than 30% on your rent? If that's the case, that's the reason why you don't have the money to now budget for business investments, for an opportunity, or for training to now grow your business. So what you need to do is you need to look at how can you downsize. Maybe you get a smaller apartment, maybe you get a smaller house, or you get a roommate. Again, I know this is not like the sexy advice, because a lot of internet marketers are going to tell you, hey, just use this free tactic. Yeah, the marketing, I can show you free tactics, because that's what I did to finally start making money in my business. When I did make that investment in my training, I decided to take what I did have and learn a free marketing strategy like video marketing to now make the money. But I also learned how to properly manage my money, so when I started making money in my business, guess what? I had the money to now invest in other things, invest in training to now scale my business growth up, to keep growing. I didn't make the same mistakes before because I got personal. I got real with myself, and I assessed, am I a good money manager? How did I really get in this position that I'm in? So that's my advice to you, is to get real. If you want to learn how to make money online, even with a low budget, you have to ask yourself, why are you in the position that you're in now? Why is it that you don't have the budget that you want? Why is it that you don't have the money to get the training that you need right now? And it's probably because you haven't been properly managing the money that you already have. Again, I know this is not a feel-good rah-rah message, but it's a message to get real so that we can start getting results. So if you want to see the training that I talked about that finally showed me free strategies like blogging and video marketing, that I was able to now invest the little bit of money I had to learn to scale up to now make over $1,125 a day, up to $1,125 a day online. You can go to www.earnmoneywithangela.com, and because I mentioned the income, I want to give this disclaimer. Income results are not guaranteed. If you want to see our average earnings, you can click on the link below this video to see our income disclaimer. But again, I understand where you're at. There are just key things that you need to learn. This is just part one. So part two, I'll share with you how you can now, once you make that investment, how can you now make sure that you get a return on that investment and start getting results with it, so you can start bringing more money into your life, but also be a good manager of it so you can know how to keep it and grow it. So again, if you are on my email list and you already seen the training that I recommend, that I promote, that you've seen it, you're ready to get started, you can go ahead and click on the Join Now button below this video. Or if you're not on my email list and you're watching this video on YouTube and you want to learn a little bit more and just kind of see what your options are, and you utilize the blogging training and the platform and the video marketing training that I got access to, you can just go to the website that you see on the bottom of the screen. Hope this helped you. Bye.